and welcome to the Talking Apron podcast, where we dish out fresh ideas for you living your healthiest life, specifically as we age. Whether it's to prevent diseases like diabetes, or staying more mobile, or improving our memory, we need to stay healthy. I'm your host, Ann Bernardin. I'm a lifestyle coach, a passionate nutrition educator, a foodie, and a type 1 diabetic. I'm here to share practical advice, uplifting stories, and expert tips to help you radiate health as you age. Whether you're looking to improve your quality of life or just to feel more confident in your food and lifestyle choices to better care for yourself, you've come to the right place. So go ahead and go grab your apron, whether it's metaphorically or literal, and join me in the kitchen where better health starts with smarter choices. All right, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about resistant starches, why they're critical for gut health, and how cooking changes the chemical structure of certain carbohydrates to create them. And we are going to be focusing on sweet potatoes. So go ahead and go grab your cuppa and we'll get started. So sweet potatoes, they are nutrient dense, they're a versatile root vegetable, and they provide a lot of health benefits. So we're talking 1 cup here, baked sweet potato, all right? 180 calories, 41 grams of carbohydrates, 13 grams of sugars. Okay, but they have 6.6 grams of fiber. Awesome. 4 grams of protein and point something fat. They're great for vitamin A, that's the red coloring. Vitamin C, vitamin B6, they have manganese, copper, magnesium, and some iron. Now, what's so great about beta carotene, the orange color? Well, in your body, that beta carotene transfers and changes into vitamin A, which supports your eye health, your immune system, and your skin health. So there is something called an anthocyanin, and that's present in the purple sweet potatoes, and they have mega antioxidants, which is like your anti-inflammatory properties. What do they help with? Well, because of the starches, they really help with blood sugar regulation. They also help with gut health. Excuse me for one moment, my insulin pump is talking to me. And they have a moderate glycemic index. So depending upon how you cook them, great for gut health because they have fiber and resistant starch, which is what we're going to be talking about next. And that supports a healthy gut. The high potassium helps with your heart health. And again, that beta carotene goes to vitamin A, which is your eye and skin health. So, boiled, steamed, baked, all different ways to cook them. But right now, I want to get into that resistant starch. What does that mean? Well, resistant starches are a type of carbohydrate that resists digestion in your small intestine. All right, it goes from the small intestine to the large intestine still in one piece. And why this matters is once it's in the colon or the large intestine, it's food for the microbiomes, the gut bacteria, which then helps us have that healthy gut microbiome because that bacteria needs good food. So what are the benefits? Well, it produces the short-chain fatty acids. It improves your insulin sensitivity by slowing the glucose release or taking all those bigger pieces in chains and chopping them up in smaller pieces to be easily digested. And it makes you feel full. So what's the actual chemistry behind this resistant starches? Well, there are two components. Okay, we're getting into the chemistry a little bit. You don't really need to remember this, but it's amylose and amylopectin. And basically, they're linear change. The amylose is a linear change, and it's not as digestible. And the amylopectin is branched chains, which is much more digestible. And you hear that pectin? You know how we use pectin for pies to make it gel-like? Well, guess what? When you cook sweet potato or other starches, the high heat and the moisture in cooking causes those starch granules to swell and gelatinize. And it makes the starch more digestible initially. But then when it cools, it retrogrades. The two types of starches reorganize themselves into a structure that resists those digestive enzymes, forming a resistant starch. So it's the same with rice, potatoes, even pasta. Now, reheating doesn't make it go back, but recooking at a high heat does. It can reverse some of the benefits. So where else can we find these resistant starches? Well, they're immediately in green bananas, oats, legumes, and certain grains. And did you know you can actually find green banana flour? So you could actually put those in your baked goods. Now, again, why are resistant starches important? They feed gut bacteria. The gut bacteria helps reduce inflammation and support the gut barrier surrounding or on the inside of the tube of our digestive tract in our small and large intestine. I'm sure you've heard of leaky gut. Another way is it helps to stabilize our blood sugar by slowing down that absorption of the carbohydrates that you eat, which over time, once you start slowing that down, it's going to improve how well the insulin in your body takes care of the carbohydrates and gets that fuel into the cell. So here's how you use resistant starches. You cook and cool. You prepare meals in advance and refrigerate, like potatoes, making potato salad, overnight oats, stir-fried leftover rice. Use that cooled rice for a resistant starch boost and make it into a fried rice. I know my mom used to love making rice pudding. And then you're going to have your sweet potatoes that you can make into a mash, or you can have a cooled baked potato, or you can even reheat some of those baked potato fries that you did sometime during your week. Now, what have we learned? All right, cooking transforms those starches, and cooling can convert the starches into a resistant starch. And by putting these resistant starches in your diet, it supports gut health, and it's diabetes friendly because it keeps blood sugar more stable. Go ahead, experiment. Thank you for listening to the Talking Apron podcast today. If you want more information on cookings, recipes, health, habits, join our Facebook group, Health, Habits, and Hope. The link is in the intro to this podcast. Thanks for listening, and listen again next week.